Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about karma. So the root word for karma simply means activity or action. On a daily basis, who controls what action you are taking? Are you working for a company? Are they directing your actions towards profitability? Or are you working for a little tyrant, maybe a boss that has his own goals? I think a lot of the problems with our world right now is the fact that we don't control our own activities. We have to do what we're told. We don't have the option to choose what it is we're going to do. And most of the time, our activities are centered around making money for other people. Well, it doesn't need to be that way. When you're at the bottom, you don't necessarily have any choices. But there's a lot of us who aren't there. Maybe we have fear. You're worried about tomorrow. You're worried about where, next week's paycheck is going to come from. Or maybe you're sitting on a retirement nest egg. You have plans for it in the future. You don't know what the future brings. How many of us work for retirement and die before we get there? Maybe we pass a little something on to our families. More likely, the money just gets spent. Well, there are ways to choose what you're going to be working on. You can choose to invest in yourself. You can choose to invest in others. Our problems these days aren't caused by technology. They're not caused by governments. They're caused by people. They're caused by people doing what they're told and not worrying about what it is that they're accomplishing. We have environmental issues. They're caused by overproduction and overconsumption. But as long as the rich take a bigger and bigger cut of what is produced, we need to keep producing more and more. That makes no sense. There's other options. We can work for each other. We can work for ourselves. Hopefully not in a selfish way, but it all depends on who has control of your activity. I think a great example is Tesla, right? So Elon Musk has a lot of money, a lot of brains, a lot of people willing to work for him. And what does he use that for? He dedicates his time and money towards building electric cars. And that's a great thing environmentally. Electric cars are a lot more eco-conscious than gas-powered cars. Anything we can do to remove our reliance on fossil fuels is better. When it comes to how electricity is generated, a lot of it is still fossil fuels. But if you have an electric car, you can then dedicate. You can just change how the electricity is generated, and you increase the efficiency of every car out there. That's a great thing. And how does he achieve his goals? He treats his employees like garbage. Because he's focused on success. He's focused on fame. He's focused on money. I mean, the man literally attacked someone for saving children before he could. And what does he do with the rewards of building these amazing electric cars that are so efficient? He invests them in automation. He invests them in self-driving cars, which is a nice little luxury feature and could potentially improve safety on roads. It also spells the death for a large portion of the U.S. workforce that drive for a living. In a world where you need to work in order to survive, he is working on removing labor. Well, Removing labor can be a good thing. Imagine a world where none of us had to work. All we had to do is whatever we thought was right. That would be a great thing. That's not the path we're heading down. I mean, that's a potential destination, but we would need to change our activities. We would instead need to work towards an ideal rather than working towards money or a comfortable life or whatever it is that we think we need. Working for a common good. Amazon's another destructive company. It's amazing what they've been able to do in terms of cloud computing and computing devices and online shopping, bringing down prices. They've also destroyed so many small businesses. And they're working on owning as much of commerce as possible. Well, the problem is not the tool. An online platform for sales is an amazing thing, you know? If you can start your own business selling stuff online and not have to own a storefront, that's an amazing enabling force. But not if we let all of the proceeds go to the people that are eliminating work and trying to own everything. Same with Facebook and Google. They want to own, as I say Google, my phone activates in my pocket. Because Google is always listening. Facebook is always listening. Because they don't make their money off of us. We are not the customers. The customers are the people that want to profile us. The customers are the people who want to figure out how we tick so they can convince us to vote for who they want or convince us to work for who they want. But at the end of the day, the thing driving us towards working for these people is our own self-interest. I'm not a religious man myself, but every religion out there tells us that this is wrong. And we can look around us and see that this is wrong. Philosophers say the same thing for the most part. I mean, certainly if you're going to follow Nietzsche, you're going to end up kind of where we are. I think that's it.